Well, hey, welcome everyone to Ignite. Or I'll just say good evening so I get some sort of a response because you don't know what to say to welcome. Good evening, hello. I'm Pastor Steve from First United Methodist Church, and I just wanted to give you a few quick announcements before I turn it over to TJ and the band. One is that we have a couple of guest bags, so if you're a first-time guest, we would love to have you pick up one of those white bags made by our children. The children of the church, and there's some information about the church and some goodies and a little bit of swag in there from the church. Is that an 84 statement?
Yeah. No, swag's okay.
Can I use that term?
Yeah,
is that an old person?
You got Riz.
And something. We also have a contact info, so if you would like to be reminded of this service, and actually we have our once a week email that goes out on Friday. We promise not to bombard you, but that tells all sorts of things happening in the life of the church, and so if you want to fill that out, and there is a small plastic box over there that is for contact info cards. There's a place for feedback. There's also, you can use it as to leave a little offering if you like. Any financial support that you leave in that bucket goes exclusively to supporting this service. And then also there's snacks each night. There's some water over there and some various snacks, and we appreciate Melanie helping keep that up every month. I also probably shouldn't say this, but I heard that it's Nancy's birthday, so I'm just saying that. I know I might get in trouble if I have a sing. So anyway,
we know that one.
Oh, okay. Yeah, and that's a welcome. This is Ignite. Great to have Kristen Betancourt, who is our special speaker and going to be sharing this evening. So looking forward to hearing that. And welcome. And can I say just a quick little blessing?
Do it.
All right. Hey, God, thanks. It's great to be in your presence tonight. And we just ask your blessing on this time and look forward to what you're going to do. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Steve. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
All right. I am personally very excited about our speaker tonight, Kristen Betancourt, who I've known for quite a long time. And so a lot of people know that my career since 1999 has been working with foster youth. We do deal with them too, let me tell you. So in like 2006, after we moved back from New York and I was at DespaireNet, I kind of created a job for myself called school liaison. So a lot of kids come and go through the foster system, and the turnarounds a lot, right? Some of them make it a while and some of them are quick. And we were running into the school district really having issues with us bringing all these behaviorally challenged kids into the district. So it was my job to take lead in bringing them down the enrollment process. And then if they got disciplined, I'd go meet with the dean and the principal. I would return from suspension with them just to be an advocate. And out of everyone at Turlock High School that I worked with, Kristen, who was like down in some basement room in the old high school building, like handing out books back then.
No, back then I was still in discipline, I think, Travis.
Oh, were you? Okay, thank you. So it's been a long time.
I've been there so long I've lost track.
Anyways, I remember you down in that old hallway at the end of that hallway. And what I want to say about Kristen is I had to have a meeting with the superintendent in one of our elementary schools because we were enrolling so many students. One of my social workers brought one of our kids in, and the front desk said, "Oh my God, another group home kid in front of my kid," right? Kristen was the exact opposite. She opened her arms to my kids. They are used to getting booted from school to school, and they're automatically naughty the day they step on campus. And she was always so caring and would call them out when needed to get called out. And I love that, but did it respectfully and lovingly. And so you're gonna hear from an awesome person tonight. Yes. The band also chose that. So a lot of our Ignite shirts aren't wearing or aren't fitting anymore. And I'm going to say it's because they've been dried too many times and they shrunk, is what I'd like to believe. So the band today decided, let's do red. We're going to pick a different color every month. I have one red piece of clothing. I'm wearing it. My mom bought this for me in 1994 from Mervyn's when I was a senior in high school. Yeah, so I dug it out. I dug it out tonight so that I could be in red in Lucky Charms. It looks happy, right? I mean, Lucky Charms are happy, so I figured it worked. Anyways, we are happy to have you all here. We're happy to have Kristen here. We're gonna start with some music. We're gonna do 2 songs, and we'll get the rest of it going. We're gonna start with Raise a Hallelujah, and then we're gonna play Power of Kindness. So hope you guys enjoy.
I raise a hallelujah in the presence of my enemies. I raise a hallelujah louder than the unbelief. I raise a hallelujah. My weapon is a melody. I raise a hallelujah. Heaven comes to fight for me. I'm gonna sing in the middle of the storm. Louder and louder, you're gonna hear my praises roar. Up from the ashes, smoke will arise. Death is defeated, and the King is alive. I raise a hallelujah with everything inside of me. I raise a hallelujah. I watch the darkness flee. I raise a hallelujah in the veil of the mystery. I raise a hallelujah. Fear you lost your hold on me. I'm gonna sing in the middle of the storm. Louder and louder, you're gonna hear my praises roar. Up from the ashes, smoke will arise. Death is defeated, the King is alive. Sing a little louder in the presence of my enemies. Sing a little louder, louder than the unbelief. Sing a little louder, my weapon is a melody. Sing a little louder, heaven comes to fight for me. Sing a little louder, my weapon is a melody. Sing a little louder, louder than the unbelief. Sing a little louder, my weapon is a melody. Sing a little louder,
true, we can learn a thing or two. So give a little love, give a lot, don't stop. A helping hand makes the world go round. There's more than enough. Oh, I believe in the power of kindness. Oh, I believe in the power of love. Oh, I believe in the power of kindness. Oh, I believe in the power of love. We don't know what's coming. We can have shape what's ahead. But kindness has our currency, commonwealth in our hands. So give a little love, give a lot, don't stop. A helping hand makes the world go round. There's more than enough. Well, with that, I would like to invite Kristen Betancourt up, everyone.
That was such a nice introduction by you, Travis. Thank you. But this little nugget made me feel better at school today.
I've heard.
Yeah, she's so sweet. And I was gonna make a joke and say, when you get to see AP seniors all day, that's a really easy day in my office. And then of course, I love a challenged
The other
student
side,
as
no
well.
doubt.
Hello. So I don't know if it's good news or bad news for me or all of you, but I did forget my glasses tonight. So while I can read my notes easily, I can't make out any of your faces. So maybe that'll make me I was a little nervous. And then I was thinking about it a little while ago. The last time I think I spoke here at church was about my mom or my uncle will probably tell me I'm off a little bit. But I think it was about 12 years ago, almost exactly, when my grandpa passed away. And I spoke on behalf of the grandchildren, in the sanctuary. And I think we had about 400 people there. And I remember not being nervous at all once I got up there. I felt so comfortable in this church and with our congregation and being raised here that I thought, this small group in a casual setting, I should be able to do fine, right? Yeah. So today, and I have to remember, I do work with high school students, and I'm half Portuguese, so I tend to speak very loud and too fast, so I'll just slow myself down, hopefully. So in preparing for tonight, I found a couple of Bible verses, and the first one I wanted to start off with was from 2 Corinthians, chapter 9, verse 7. Each of you should give what you have decided in your heart to give, not reluctantly or under compulsion, for God loves a cheerful giver. So I was thinking, that's kind of how I like to think of myself, that I'm a lot like my mom. We love people. I feel like for the most part, we're cheerful. And in my volunteerism and community service or at school and in recruiting people, I've always tried to do it with a cheerful heart and a grateful heart and to be welcoming and inclusive. And if you've heard me speak before in public, or I've asked you for a donation for something I was working on, I've often said that I wish, there's many times I wish that Kristen Betancourt could just write a check for $1,000 or $5,000 or sometimes even $100 to a charitable organization or for an event that I wanted to support. And while that's not always doable, I learned years ago that I could give of my time, and also learned that I had a gift for rallying and leading other people in doing the same, to step up and volunteer and to raise money, right? And so that's kind of where I was going with this. So honestly, when I was thinking about kind of when my community volunteerism started, it was when my Aunt Nancy asked me to be on her Relay for Life team, and back then it was at the university, and it was smaller, and she put together a team, and our only commitment was for each of us to raise $100 and to commit to walking an hour on the track, because the whole point of Relay for Life was to raise money for the American Cancer Society, and to spend 24 hours on the track walking, because cancer never sleeps, so at Relay, we don't either. So basically, a lot of that led to, that was kind of my first start with Relay for Life. And then the following year, I found an administrator at school that was kind of crazy enough to get on board with me. And so I recruited students. In our first year, we had 14 or 15 kids out there. And then that eventually grew. I think I had that club for about 20 years. And we grew to some years we had over 400 kids involved. And so working with the 18-year-olds was great because it taught them to think outside of themselves and their own social circles. And it made us, cancer strikes everyone. Nobody is free from it. It affects all socioeconomic and races and sexes and all of that. And so the kids really found, unfortunately, because of cancer, they did find a commonality and a place to, they all did have something in common, whether they didn't hang out together at school or, So for me, that as the adult and leading that was such a gift to having them involved. And even to this day, some of my closest friends in my adult life were made by my relationships with those students. It was their moms that came to help and they got involved and everything. And so that, honestly, I feel like my Aunt Nancy's invite led me to years of service and volunteer and then leadership roles within the Relay for Life event, the American Cancer Society. That led to the Salvation Army, to my position on their board. And then eventually I created, along with, again, I found my bestie mom and 9 other ladies to share in my crazy. And that's when we started our own nonprofit, Dancing with the Turlock Stars. And then in the middle of all of those years, there were so many other things and ways to help. And, I'm sure you feel that all the time, Sylvia, right? You had the small idea and then look at what you guys have done, right? With the thrift store, and a lot of us are like that. So now, after having thought about all of that, it was, I want to say, maybe 10 years or so into my community service, someone complimented me, and I took it a little backhanded because in complimenting me, they said how well my parents raised me, right? And I was like, well, I'm an adult, and I'm doing this on my own and volunteering, and, they did great, but, and then I realized, I think I took for granted all the years my dad spent coaching Little League, and my mom taught Sunday school and was involved in PTA, and all the things we helped with here. My grandpa he loved being an usher and all the socializing in church and with Toastmasters and Kiwanis, and then people started recognizing my connection to him and his involvement with Special Olympics here. So really, I think, while my mom and dad being involved and those things with us maybe helped them as a family because we were going to be together anyway, so they should be helping or part of things. It also taught us to give of ourselves and probably help them keep an eye on us and keep us all together. And so I've always loved and enjoyed hearing stories from community members, to different committees maybe my mom was on, or my grandma helped count money, and I think we still have the little white doves and bells and hearts on the Christmas tree, so my grandma was on a committee that, with other ladies that helped sew those and everything. So it has always been, I feel, in my heart to give with my heart and time and to lead by doing, and I think that's one of the things that's made me successful with students and then later on with adults, is that I've never asked a student aide or a committee member or someone else to do a job that I wasn't willing to do, or that they didn't see me doing, or being in the trenches with them, or raising money also. And for years I've written the words "do good, be good" in students' yearbooks or graduation cards, just because that's what I want for them, right? To do good things and to be good people and to lead with their hearts and to have a serving, giving heart. And so then, I found that I had a gift to connect people, and I've always also said that, maybe I'm not going to change big things in the world, but I can make a difference in our community and with those kids, and they'll go out and do big things. And I always say, you guys, a lot of you in here know, I feel like it's a wonderful compliment to our community when we send students away to college and they go do things and they get an education, and then they come back here and they raise their families, or they run a business, or, and they live in our community. So I never wanted fellow volunteers or recruited students to look at serving others through community service as something to check off a list or to mark for a scholarship application or a college application. I wanted them to know that they were making a difference, and that, you know, while sometimes they feel like they can't do anything because they're one person, that as a team, we all could. And honestly, I feel like it really started here. I'll turn 50 in March, and I can vividly remember walking through that other hall and being in Theola Leeson's 2- and 3-year-old classroom, right? And I've told Sean, my fiance, many times, like, our youth group and our UMYF, I don't know if they still get to do this, but we used to get to play sardines at overnights here. Do they still do that? And he's like, well, where would you hide? I'm like, oh my gosh, we would hide all over the church and in the dark, and the stage and the social, I mean, that was a great place to hide, and the choir room, we hid in there, and then we would always, I think at like midnight, we would always go into the sanctuary, and we would sit in the middle at the front under the big pretty red light, and that's when we'd have kind of like a little service or whatever. So, and then I, you know, of course, those events led to me teaching Sunday school here, and, you know, I've participated as a liturgist and other things, and while it's my joke with friends that I never made it to the Mary status in the Christmas pageant, I did, I never got to be the Mary, but, I do have great memories of being an angel and a shepherd. I feel like you graduated from angel to a shepherd, right? So, and then I found from James chapter 2, verse 14, what good is it, my brothers and sisters, if someone claims to have faith but has no deeds? Can such faith save them? And I've been kind of working on that with my niece. You know, she has grown up alongside of my mom and I volunteering, and now as she's getting ready to turn 19 next week, and she decided last spring to start coming to church, and my Aunt Diane and my Aunt Nancy and Uncle Bobby, they're all the constants, they're always here. So I was thinking, God, there was many times I came and I was by myself at Maddie's age, and I would sit with my Aunt Diane or one of them, and now Maddie feels that same comfort, and everyone's been here so welcoming, and often she and we talk about, you know, having a good heart and serving others, and that including your family, and what we can do for other people. And so joking, I like to joke about this with my mom, and I told her I would not talk about it, but I said that verse hit home with me, because while I might not be always sitting here in a pew, and and our family likes their area. I know most of us at this church, we like our areas, right, where we've always sat. On Sunday mornings, I do feel like I'm often serving God in some capacity, and ultimately the fundamentals came from here, right? And when Sean and I were together and we were talking about where we wanted to find a church, and this is all I know, but I didn't want to push that onto him, right? And I said, well, let's just try it. You know, maybe you'll like my family's church. And you've really enjoyed it, right? Yes. Yeah. And everyone has been so welcoming, and, you know, when we aren't here, we definitely are watching. Sometimes we are just in our jammies with our coffee and our dog watching it online, and we feel really, you know, good about that. And we've watched it, you know, we can watch church. It's kind of nice to watch it from anywhere. And I was thinking tonight, I was kind of chuckling. Kristen Veray is one of my good friends since junior high, and she texted me last night and today, and she was going to try and make it, and then she was apologizing to me a little while ago for not being here because she's serving. She's at We Care serving dinner. So I'm like, it's so silly that she would apologize to me when that's what, you know, she is out doing. So she's giving of herself always. So I wanted to say thank you for having me here tonight, for Trisha calling me, the wonderful welcome from Travis, Pastor Stephen. Everyone has been so welcoming, as Sean and I have I found my way back here, and he's joined. And I often I have a lot of emotions with this church, all really good ones. And so I'm just super thankful. And I did hear something the other day. I will not lead a prayer because I do not feel that is in my wheelhouse. But one of my really good friends, her husband is a Methodist pastor, and they know Pastor Steve really well. And so she told us the other day, and because I don't have my glasses on, I can't even see where he is. Oh, he's right there. Gina said we should not be putting our pastors on a pedestal. We should be putting them in prayer, that they need our prayer. So I just want to remind all of us, while he's always leading, that we should keep him in prayer as well. And then I wanted to close with Hebrews chapter 13, verse 16, and do not forget to do good and to share with others, for with such sacrifices God is pleased. So, thank you.
One more time, yeah, for Kristen. Thank you, Kristen. What a lot of people don't know is she referenced Mr. Sean over there. Sean is the only person in my life, the one who I've known the longest. I think we started playing baseball together in fourth grade. And then ended up in Modesto, moved to Turlock, he moved to Turlock. We went through school together, Kristen. I have stories if you ever want them. I got you. But Sean, it's great to see you, man. Alright, so we're going to close out the night with 2 songs. And this one, we kind of, again, we try to do something that has to do with the message, which was why Power of Kindness, because obviously you glow kindness, Kristen. The next one is called Make a Difference, right? So we're going to do that, and then I'll kind of say a little closing thing. We'll do one last song, and that will be the night. So thank you, guys.
Test. 1, 2, 3, 4. With open eyes, I'm walking to the light. 'Cause I've been sleeping way too long. This blurry vision's had me leaving blind. Show me what's really going on. What does it mean right now? It's time to let love be loud. We've gotta be what we preach about. We can make a difference. We can do our talking with our hands and feet. Love is on a mission. Let the difference start with you and me. Finding what's broke so we can build it up. Healing the ones that have been hurt. Even a little just might be enough. But first we've got to get to work. What does it mean right now? It's time to let love reach out and let them know what we're all about. We can make a difference. Let's do the talking with our hands and feet. Love is on a mission. Let the difference start with you and me. If you change your heart, you can change the world. Gotta take a step or we'll never know. What are we waiting for? We can make a difference. We can do the talking with our hands and feet. Love is on a mission. Let the difference start with you and me. Let's get to work. Oh, let's get to work. Oh, let's get to work. Oh, let's get to work. Make
Okay, so we really like to do this song because we get Steve up here to sing with us, and it's always awesome when we can convince him to get up here with us. So this one is Grapes the Garden, as we've done it before, but we have a lot of fun with it, so we're going to do it again.
I searched the world, but they couldn't fill me. Man's empty graves and treasures of fate are never enough. And you came along and put me back together, and every desire is now satisfied.
everyone, again, we are blessed to be here with you. We hope you have a blessed week. We hope to see you guys on the first Thursday of December.
And next month, we have a special Ignite. It will be in the sanctuary, very Christmassy themed, with the sanctuary all decked out for Christmas, and a little short Christmassy message. And so hope you'll come to Ignite the first Thursday in December, 6:30 in the sanctuary for December.
Thank you, Steve.
Thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful night, guys.